Madam Roy back again. Making this quick little intro to the video because you guys are probably going to be asking yourselves, what the heck is going on with this vlog? Well, I recorded this about an hour ago, and I totally forgot to charge the batteries in the normal camera I use for vlogging, which is the Sony here, the CX240. So I took one of my old mini DV camcorders out of mothballs, and once I finished recording it and I went to go ahead and import it into Windows Movie Maker, I realized that the first 58 seconds of the video were basically double exposed, and I have not used this camcorder in a long time, so it is what it is. There's no way I could have known that was going to be a problem. So I'm going to put this in first. The next thing you see is going to be the start of today's vlog, and the first 58 seconds or so are going to be fairly interesting, so stay tuned. It clears up after that, and I promise you that this is not going to happen again.
Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Madam Roy back again. Good afternoon, everybody. Madam Roy back again. Well, I know it's been a while since my last video. Let's see, it's probably been about 3 days, and the main reason is I just haven't really had anything to talk about. I haven't been doing much shopping lately. The weather here this morning was terrible. Last night we had a surprise snowstorm. They said we might get a few flurries. We wound up getting about maybe an inch or two on the ground. And what actually happened is this morning it switched over to sleet because the temperatures warmed up a little bit. Overnight it was around 22 degrees, and then when morning came it got around 32, so we had that kind of slushy, disgusting mess that was all over the streets. And because they didn't know this was coming, at least not this bad, they really didn't prep the streets, so it's been kind of nasty. I just don't feel like going out and, risking it. And basically the weather station's been telling everybody to stay home, just kind of relax for the day, so I'm kind of heeding their warnings. Couple updates I wanted to tell you guys about. I did complete the system that I got from my friend the other day with that big lot of computers and electronics, the Dell Dimension E520, and I will show you guys that in just a minute. I wound up having to replace add a hard drive. I had to replace the optical drives in there, and I did wind up installing Ubuntu 14.04 on there. The last thing I have to do with that is really replace the processor, because right now it's rocking a Pentium 4 3.06 gigahertz processor, and once I get my heat thermal compound in, which I ordered on eBay, should be coming in probably the next couple of days, then I'll be putting one of these two CPUs, and this one here is a Pentium D 820, and this one is a Pentium D, what's this one, an 840. And I'm not sure which is going to work better in the computer. I know, of course, the 840 is the newer of the two CPUs. One is 2.7 gigahertz and the other is 3 gigahertz. But we're just going to have to see what that computer can support. Other things I did want to mention, I know I haven't discussed this at length, but I am no longer working for Batteries Plus Bulbs. I did not get fired or anything like that. I chose to leave because the pay was abysmal, and I'm not going to go into specifics about it, but I was not getting what I was worth, basically. The pay was very low, pretty much just above minimum wage, and I had to do a lot of traveling, and the traveling that I had to do was with my own vehicle. So going through the tunnels, paying the tolls, the wear and tear on my vehicle, the wear and tear on myself, let's say, it just wasn't worth it for the money that they were offering, so I myself decided to leave. I knew it wasn't going to be a long-term solution. I was kind of hoping that it would last a little bit longer, that they would allow me mainly to work at the location that's near my house, but it didn't work out that way, so like I said, unfortunately, I decided to end it there. So I just wanted to give that quick update because I know a lot of people were asking about it. I've got a lot of messages about that, so that's all I'm going to say. Like I said, it just was not the right position for me. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this computer real quick, and before I do, I do want to mention the SSD is still on its way. I actually wound up ordering it from Canada, so that's why it's taking so long. It's got probably another 3 or 4 days before I'll actually receive it. And I have been doing some research online debating whether or not I want to try and clone my hard drive or just do a fresh install. And pretty much every thread that I've been looking at says I should do a fresh install. Cloning from a standard hard drive to an SSD is a little bit more than tricky. A lot of times you'll have errors between the two, so that's what I'm going to do. I've actually spent the last 3 or 4 days moving all of my personal files, my pictures, my documents, movies, everything I have on my main drive to either the 3 terabyte external Western Digital or the 2 terabyte internal data drive that I use for backup. So everything's been transferred to those 2 drives, and once the SSD comes in, I will be ready to go ahead and reinstall Windows. Now, bear in mind, I don't actually have a copy of Windows 10, so what I'm going to have to do is what I did on my HP computer. I'm going to have to go ahead and get the Windows 8 backup disks that I made for this computer when I got it, install Windows 8, and then download Windows 10 Toolkit from Microsoft, and then go ahead and reinstall Windows 10 on the computer. And hopefully everything goes okay. I don't know if you guys remember, when I did the upgrade on this computer last time, Windows 10 would not activate right away. So here's hoping that I do not have that same problem.
Alright guys,
again.
so here is pretty much the completed Dell Dimension E520. Basically, the only thing I have to do again is install the other CPU once the thermal compound comes in. And if my camera will focus, I will show you that I put in a DVD burner on the top drive. The bottom one is the DVD-ROM. That was here originally because this was a bare bone system. When it was new, they only ordered it, obviously, with a regular DVD-ROM, no burning capability. So let's go ahead and turn this on. All right. Oh, that would help if I turn the monitor on. Yep, I have one of my other mini DV camcorders there. Yeah, I do apologize for the video quality of this particular vlog. I forgot to charge my Sony HD camcorder, so I'm actually filming with one of my old mini DV camcorders at the moment. And this is going to take a couple minutes to boot up. But while it's booting up, I will tell you something that I had to do here. And it's quite unfortunate that I had to do it. This section right here is basically one board behind here. There's the USB ports, all of the activity lights, the hard drive light, all the diagnostic lights, the headphone jack, and then the power button, which actually has a little tab that when you push it actually pushes a button on the board back here. And I will show you the original board that came out of this computer. You can see it actually is supposed to sit like this, and this is the power button right here. And again, it sits in the computer like that, and then there's a little tab that goes up from here to push the power button on the board. Now, the reason I had to replace it was, if you can see right here, this one USB port is broken, and for a backup computer it was very important for me to have 2 working front USB ports. So what I actually did is I took the board out of the Dimension E520 that I had and put it in here. For the most part, it works just fine. However, the main difference between these 2 boards is this right here. The E520 actually has a temperature sensor, and that's what this is right here. It plugs into the board and actually tells the computer, the motherboard, and the CPU what the current internal temperature is. Well, the 320's board doesn't actually have that capability, so the only negative is the fan is always running at a constant speed. I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not. But the fan basically runs at one continuous speed, which is absolutely fine with me because it's actually at a higher RPM right now and keeps the system cool. And the only other thing that happens is when you first turn it on and you go past the BIOS screen, it just gives you a warning that the temperature sensor is not working. So what I am going to do is, if it causes me any long-term problems, I'm going to go ahead and switch the boards back. But for now, the board out of the 320 seems to work fine. And of course, the only other difference
difference here is the 520's board had a microphone and a headphone jack, whereas the 320's board just has a jack for a headphone. And you can see that I actually saved the old faceplate from that other system. And the really cool thing is I was even able to pull the logo here from the Dimension 310. This just actually pulls right off very easily, and you can switch it back and forth between the two. Let's see if I can get it off one-handed. Yeah, you can see right there, it's just a little plate. So with a little tinkering, I was able to pretty much get this Dimension E520 up to spec. Well, now that I have it booted, yes, you can see that I had to put the Alvin and the Chipmunks wallpaper on. You guys know I'm a big Chipmunk fan, so that's going to be on pretty much every system that I own, at least running Linux. If I go up here, I'll show you the specs on this particular system. And I think it's actually still booting. Well, I'll show you some of the programs I installed first. Of course, I had to have Google Chrome, which is right there. Got Firefox. We have VLC Media Player, the Ubuntu Software Center, Rhythmbox, which is holding quite a few songs for me right now. F-Spot is the photo manager. I'll probably do another video later on about that. It's a pretty cool program. K-Backup for doing customer backups. I'll use that particular program. Audacity. And then, of course, your LibreOffice apps, the Writer, the Calculator, and the LibreOffice Impress, which is, I believe, like PowerPoint. And here we go. Now that she's totally booted up, I'll show you the specific specs of this computer. Again, as you can see, it's running Ubuntu 14.04 LTS. And it right now has 2 gigabytes of memory. It has the Pentium 4 3.06 gigahertz CPU, and I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but it is rocking that AMD Radeon HD 5450 card that I purchased from my friend as well. I wanted to find a use for it, and of course it seems to work very, very well in this new backup machine of mine. It is a 64-bit operating system, and I wanted to make sure I did that because, especially the fact that I'm installing the dual-core CPU very soon, I want to make sure I had the 64-bit version of Ubuntu running in there. And I'm just rocking a 80-gigabyte Western Digital hard drive in here. So, again, with the exception of putting in that faster dual-core CPU, this computer is pretty much complete. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all the computer updates I have for right now. I want to go ahead and take you outside and show you what the weather's like. I haven't actually been outside yet today, so I'm kind of curious to see how slippery it is, and we'll find out together. I'll talk to you in... Alright, so let's see what we got going on out here. Woo! It is very cold at the moment. It's still probably about 32 degrees. I don't know if the camera will pick up my breath, but I can surely see it myself. I did not get to do a cold start on the Ford F-250 the other day. It was very cold, but I wasn't feeling too well. My allergies were really acting up, so I pretty much kind of stayed in bed. You can see I haven't had a chance to clean my car off yet. Like I said, we really haven't gone out at all today. There is still a little bit of snow on the grass, but I tell you, when I woke up early this morning, it was covered. I mean, we had a good 2 inches on the ground, but since then we've had some sleet and freezing rain, and of course that's pretty much melted and dissolved all the snow. But yeah, I mean, this is winter in Virginia. Very, very typical for this area. And of course it's going to warm up to be in the 60s pretty much the rest of next week, so not going to be doing a pit fire anytime soon, but I guarantee you when it cools down again, we're going to be out there because I really miss having those pit fires. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Again, I apologize for the video quality. I will not always be using these mini DV camcorders. This will teach me in the future to remember to charge my batteries up. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Look for some very interesting content coming in the near future, especially with that new SSD. I'm going to be doing some benchmarking tests and giving you my general ideas on how I like it. Again, remember to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.